So I was saying the formula between the prism and the cylinder are the same, right? So when we look at our first homework problem, you see this shape. This is a prism, okay? Because the bases are polygons. We got a rectangle at the top, and we got a rectangle down at the bottom. Now, a weird thing about prisms like that, like you could think about the prism as this is the base right here, and this is the base, but it would kind of depend upon the way it's sitting. Like if it's sitting on my hand like this, I would say, yeah, that's the top base right there, and then the bottom base is right down here. But couldn't you take that prism and kind of stand it up like that? You know what I'm saying? Now the top base is right there, and the bottom base is right down here if it's sitting like that. So you have to look at the picture, and you have to kind of say, okay, well, I think the author is saying the top base is right up there, and the bottom base is right down there. And then when they put an L down, they mean what I have in my notes as LA, lateral area. The sides of the box, like usually, I was going to say normal people, but that might be insulting to some. A lot of times people pick up a box by the lateral area. They pick it up like this, you know? They generally don't come into the cupboard and like pick up a box like this by the bases. They just usually kind of come in like a cereal box and grab by the lateral area, right? Now, I know you're not touching the entire lateral area. You're not touching that side over there. That's part of the lateral area, right? See, I want you to understand this. I don't want you just to follow some, formula that I give you. So I'm going to write on this screen here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to grab my pen tool so that I can write on this screen. And look, this dimension right here plus this dimension over here plus this dimension right there plus this dimension right there is the perimeter of the base. Could I have highlighted this base up here? Absolutely I could. I don't know why I did the one on the bottom. Maybe because more people think about a base as like the bottom of it. But this one has two bases, okay? So let's take that base. It's kind of they're trying to draw it in perspective so it goes back into space. And let's just take it out of there and draw it like you might see it, if it was flat or you're looking at just strictly the bottom of it. It's a 12 by 10 rectangle. Okay, now I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence by going this slow, but this is 12, this is 10, this is 12, this is 10 over here. So let me put down base. Would you add that to your notes, please? Oh, and by the way, sometimes drawing these three-dimensional objects is a little difficult. So if you're putting that down in your notebook, I would draw the front face. Okay, this is called a face right here that you're looking at. And then you try to draw the sides parallel to each other. Okay, so then you draw this one back here, and then you draw this one back here. Now, if you don't want to show the hidden lines, the ones that are in the back of the object that you wouldn't be able to see, then you don't put the dashed lines in. But if you want to show the hidden lines, then you try to do this little dash business to say, hey, look, people can't see those lines. And you still try to keep them all parallel to each other. Unless you're trying to show some perspective, then you might have a vanishing point. If you learned about that in art, that's fantastic. Okay, so here's the perimeter. The perimeter is 10 plus 12 plus 10 plus 12. Hey, we don't really have kind of a fancy formula like pi times diameter for a rectangle. You just add up the sides, right? Now, some people would say, no, you got two of those sides, you got two of those sides. Yeah, you could do two length, two width, add them together. So what do we get? We get 22, 44, I think. So we got 44, what are the units here? Yards for the perimeter of the base. Now I got to take it times the height. So here's my height right here. The 12 is the height of the object. So for lateral area, I'm going to put it right out here to the side. It would be 12 times 44, okay? Shoot, what does that come out to be? 10 44s is 440, okay? Plus 2 44s is 88 more. So I'm kind of doing the distributive property here, right, to help my arithmetic out, because I don't know if I can open up Desmos right now the way I'm running this. So I got 528. You could just open up Desmos, okay? So I think the lateral area comes out to be 528. Man, I hope I didn't make a mistake with that. Now the surface area, okay, so this is what I put in my notes, LA for lateral area. My surface area is going to be the 528 plus 2 bases. So what is the area of this base right here? Well, it's 12 times 10, right? So the area of the base, and a lot of times we just put a big capital B for the area of the base, is 12 times 10. That's 120. Okay, so I got 120 right there. So I got 2 of them, don't I? I got a top base and a bottom base. So we got 528 plus 240. Let's see, what does that come out to be? That's 768, I think. 768. See if you agree with me on that. 768. Guys, thanks for watching my video. If you've seen enough, you're like, hey, I know how to do all these homework problems. Great. If you haven't seen enough, I want you to keep watching because I'm going to do another problem, okay? So I'm going to clear this one off, and I'm going to go back into my homework here, and hopefully the stuff won't be there anymore. Uh-oh. I think my program just stopped working. Let me see. Did it stop working? No, it's still working. Woo! You never know with technology. Okay, so I want to go to my next problem. I'm going to look for a cylinder, one with a circular base. Okay, that one. Oh. Here's that example that I was talking about where, you know, this right here, this triangle is the base of the object. Even though they're making it look like it's not sitting on that base, why is that the case? Because bases match each other. This is an octagon, this is an octagon. Even if the object was sitting like this, the bases are still those 2 octagons, the one that's in yellow or whatever color that is, and then the clear one, okay? So those are the 2 bases. It's not this rectangle that's the base. Why not? Because you can't just take this one rectangle and slide it through the object. Now it will meet that rectangle up there, but the rectangles in the middle are bigger than the rectangle in the bottom. You want to picture the base as something that could just be slid through the object and then all the way through it's identical to the top base, okay? So can you see that the triangle right here that I just outlined would slide through the object? Now this is a challenging one because, yeah, you can get the perimeter of the base real easily, but can you get the area of the base? It's, you know, here's the height of the triangle, here's the base of the triangle. So remember 1/2 base times height's the area formula for a triangle. Hey, I'm not going to do any more with that. That's going to be a challenging one. I'm looking for a circular base. Here we go. Circular base. So what do I do here? Okay, so same formula. LA equals the perimeter of the base times the height. Now we have a special word for perimeter of a circle. It's called circumference. So if you look in the formula like on Google or something like that, you might see circumference times height. So obviously, well, I hope it's obvious that 10 is the height. The diameter is 12. So diameter equals 12. This equals our height. Now that's good news because we want the diameter to get the circumference, right? So it's pi times diameter. So I'm going to take pi times 12. Then I'm going to take it times 10. Okay, so that comes out to be 120 pi. And this is area. So, man, I don't think I put my units down on the other one. Well, they're taking care of the units for us. E, whenever we have a pi in there, you can hear me kind of groaning. Oh, they got to tell us whether we need to round it or just leave it as an exact value. I wish they would have said just leave it as exact value because I just typed 120 pi right there. But now I got to jump over to Desmos. Let me see if I can manage the technology here. Oh, maybe I can. So I can go to Desmos, and then I want to put in 120 pi. The part I like about Desmos is I know how to put in pi without looking around for buttons. I just type pi. Okay, so there's 376 to the 10th place. I guess we got to round up. That'd become a 0. That'd become a 7. 377.0. Okay, 377.0. Let's get back over to our problem. 377.0. Man, I hope I did that right. I hate it when somebody says, Nelson, you screwed it up. Man, I'm so disappointed in myself when I do that. So 377.0, and then surface area is the 120 pi plus 2 bases, right? There's a top base and a bottom base on all of these problems today, top base and bottom base. So we need to know the radius, though, instead of the diameter. So the diameter is 12, the radius is half of that, which is 6. So I'm going to go pi times 6 squared. Now, guys, I mean, I know that's 36. I know 36 pi is what it should look like. Times 2 is 72 pi, right? I feel pretty comfortable with doing that. But if you don't, no big deal. You just do this on Desmos. I love this, how it stays on the screen, so I don't have to remember what it is. I go 120 pi again. You might say, well, it's right up above. Well, then I don't have to, like, I could copy and paste it down there. I could copy this number and paste it down. I want it to be as accurate as possible. And then I go plus 2, open parenthesis, pi 6 squared. Try that on your iPhone. I know some of you are big iPhone calculator fans. Man, I'm a big calculus or Desmos fan, calculator, because, man, you can just type it in exactly as you see it. Boom, there it is. Okay, you don't need to put 72 pi in there. You don't need to hit like, oh shoot, memory, or what was the number again. So 603.2. 603.2, oh, I gotta switch it over like this. So it says, again, round to the nearest tenth, right? 603.2, I think, was my number. So, what is this doing on there? 603.2. 603.2. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you needed that kind of help, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? Thanks for being patient with yourself and with me. I'm doing the best I can to make it clear. I hope I made that clear. Thank you very much.